Hi, I'm Hamza and welcome to my first Photoshop CS5 tutorial. Photoshop is a great application and there's a lot to learn. But in this tutorial, I'll teach you some very basic Photoshops which deals with the moving tool and the marquee tool, the marquee rectangular tool. Okay, I open an image here. Okay, what I did, let me close this one. I went to the file, open, desktop, and I selected this image. Okay, so you can select one of your photos or a landscape. When you have your photo here, make sure that the moving tool is selected. The moving tool moves your photo around the stage. It moves it from left to right, from right to left, from down to top and top to the bottom. So it moves it around the stage. If I move this photo all the way here and then I go to the file, save as JPG or PNG, only this part of the photo will be shown. Whatever you see on the stage will be saved. So I move it back here. The moving tool is also used for dragging copies. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's move to the move your cursor to the rectangular marquee tool. Select it. When you select the rectangular marquee tool or the moving tool, you can see a box around it. Yes, if I moved here, you can see all around here is a box, and if I move to the rectangular, there is a box around it. The rectangular marquee tool is used for making selection. It can select the whole page or a part of the page. It can select a part of it. Let's see, we are working with this part of an image. We will make a selection on this part of an image. If we move the cursor inside the selection, we can move our selection around the stage. You can see, we can say, no, not this part. We are going to work on this part, and we move it here, or this part, or another part. If we move our cursor out of this selection and make another selection, this selection will be disregarded, or it will be automatically deselected, and we'll make another selection. You see, here is another selection, and that selection is gone, and here is another one. So let's make a selection again here. If we add on the top of this selection, we hold shift and then we make a selection. Let's see, we will work on this part too. Here you can see another selection, or we can say we can work on this part. So holding shift and dragging can add to the selection. If we want to subtract and deselect, so we hold alt and we deselect this part. We can say, now let's deselect this part, and we can make a deselection on this part. We can work on one side of the face and the shoulder. Yep. So shift and alt, select and deselect selection. Now let's here. Okay, let's see, we need this part of an image. We make a selection. We make a selection, and then we want to move this selection around the image. So we go to the moving tool, we select it, or we select the shortcut key V. So here we go selection, and we move the head around. See, it's getting here. Okay, you can see we can move it around the stage. Okay, here and this and that in this part. It's very handy. There's a handy technique. When you make your selection, hold down yes, and if you are on the rectangular marquee tool, hold down the control and drag it here. As long as you are inside this, you are going to be using moving tool, though it's not selected, but you hold control. And if you get out of here, the cursor will change back to the rectangular tool. So you make a rectangular, and you will no longer be able to do the moving tool unless you again hold control or V or go and make a selection and then move it around. Okay, then now let's see, I don't want to make changes in this. I do it undo, control Z, undo, control alt Z is doing undo, and coming to the first image. Here I want to make a copy of this height, so I make a selection, and then I'd like to make, I don't want to move this one, I want to make a copy of this one with the moving tool. So I copy this one, I make a selection, I hold Alt, and then I drag it here. You can see we still have the head and we had another copy, and then dragging it again, holding Alt, dragging, make another copy and make another copy. As long as you hold Alt, it makes many copies. If you hold Alt and use the arrow keys, it makes a copy with a 1 pixel offset. Here, here, up, down, bottom. And if you hold Alt, Shift, one of the arrow keys, it makes a 10 pixel, you can see here, a 10 pixel offset copy. Okay, we move it here, this way, here down, and you can move it up, you can make it with a side, and you can make it with a 10 pixel offset. Okay, this was all for today, and hope you learned something, and I'll catch back with you with the next tutorial. Thanks for watching, and please do comment.